Welcome back to the Coach's Daughter Show on this Wednesday afternoon. We are so excited here with Opey Russ, and we've got Andy and Kyle, and we have a very special guest on the phone with us today. We've got Karlos Williams. He played at FSU on one of the years of their championship team. We've got a lot to talk to him about, a lot going on with him with the NFL. And Karlos, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Thank you so much for agreeing to call in today. We are just so super excited and really appreciate you giving your time for us to do this. My co-host here, Opey Russ, is with me, and we just have a few questions for you. One, I would like to ask you, well, actually, Opey has a very fond memory of you, Karlos. He can share.
I do. In the national championship game when they had that fake punt, and it just blew everybody around when Jimbo Fisher called that fake punt. My question to you is, did you think it was going to go as good as it did?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you guys for having me. It is amazing. This is an amazing opportunity. I haven't had too many people come up could be able to talk to about, me coming back, my process, college days, and such. Is only my second interview, but I would like to thank you guys out there in Panama for giving me the opportunity. But to answer your question, I mean, the call was crazy. I don't think Coach Fisher knew what he actually called. Usually when Coach Fisher tells us to go punt the ball, he kind of does like the little kick sound with his fingers, and the ball goes away, and Coach Kelly calls it, and we go execute. But Coach Kelly actually called rocket. Something that we have been working on. We knew Auburn had a lot of outside speed, a lot of pressure.
Right.
But they liked to hold up because they had a great returner in Quan Bray. He had actually did quite a bit of damage, him and Chris Davis, in the return game for Auburn during that season. So they wanted to hold us up at the line of scrimmage, kind of give them guys some lanes to run through. And we knew we could take advantage of it. Their backs would be turned. Me, Telvin, and Dan Hicks kind of executed it with the leadership roles there with the switch of the formations and the soft toss by Dan. But when the ball snapped, you can hear Coach Fisher screaming, no, 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 no. And I finally get in the corner. You can hear him screaming, yes, 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 yes. And a lot of people think that was a big turning point in the game.
That's
I
great.
just see that as a way to, give my team's upper hand and give my team the momentum to help us go down and score. Devontae scored on that drive, I do believe, right inside the 5. And, we kind of took momentum back at that point and, helped us lead us to a national championship.
I love that.
The credit really goes to the coaches and the play call and the film. They studied so long and making sure that we had a chance to execute when it was time to execute. The hats off to those guys.
Man, that's fantastic. The coach was like, wait, no, don't do it. No. Yeah, go. Yes.
It's pretty funny when you hear the sideline and you hear people talking while you're actually running the ball, and it's funny that you think about those things as you're running. Not many people understand that. You can hear everything. You have ears. It's how far and what voices do you recognize when you're near them. So I definitely heard Coach Fisher's voice, but it's satisfying play. It worked. If it didn't work, it's next championship game. You got to go all out. You got to call your best shots. Call your best plays, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you got to process and move on. And that's what he taught us when I was there. Bad play, process, move on. Big play for us, process, move on. The next play has to be played, and the play has to be made. And the play doesn't care who makes it. So, it's just going out and executing, and I'm happy that we did.
That's fantastic. 104.3 ESPN, Panama City. We are joined by NFL free agent Karlos Williams, who was part of the national championship team of FSU. In the NFL, he played his first season with the Buffalo Bills. Now he's a free agent here going through. And now that you're a free agent, I don't know if anybody's told you, but I'm a diehard Redskins fan, Karlos, and so I'm wanting you on my team. I'm figuring what a great fit it would be if you used to wearing the garnet and gold, right? You're used to kind of wearing those yummy colors, the warm kind of campfire colors, and you can come to D.C., even though it's freezing there, but you can come to D.C. and I'll be your biggest fan, buddy.
I played the Buffalo. You know how cold Buffalo is?
Oh.
So cold. But I will say this. I did learn a lot about driving in the snow, playing in the snow. Going through high school, playing here in Florida, we have a lot of speed. We play in the heat. In the wintertime, it's hot. But then it's different when you go to college. You play Boston College. You might play a North Carolina team that's cold, but that's the farthest you're going to go. Syracuse is indoors in New York.
Yeah.
But you're going to Buffalo. and playing in negative weather, or your numbers get down to single digits, it builds a lot of character, I have to say.
That's booger freezing weather.
Kind of hits and running up against people, blocking defensive ends, linebackers, and just pounding the ball down the inside. Now we did with Coach Rex. So it built a lot of character, have a lot of respect for guys that play in the cold year-round. And D.C. would just, I mean, it'll be fine. You know, it'll be close to the nation's capital. You know, I haven't really spent any time there. I have two teammates there, former teammates Chris Thompson and Dustin Hopkins, so that'll be a nice reunion. I played them my rookie year. We played out there against the Redskins.
Well, hey, Karlos, I've found it surprising to know, and probably a lot of other people don't realize this, but you were a 5-star recruit as a safety and then ended up, you know, becoming a running back. But one of the things that I really wanted to give you an opportunity today is to tell your story, because I think people want to know, they need to hear it, and I think it's a feel-good story. It's a second chance story. But if you don't mind, if you're comfortable with it, just tell everybody your story. You know, you were at Buffalo, and then what happened after that to get you to this point now.
It's funny you ask. Right now, I do home improvement with a very good friend of mine. We actually are co-presidents of a Little League football team, and he owns Victory Home Repair here in Davenport, where I'm from. And I've been working with him for the past 2 years outside of football, and it actually helped me kind of, you know, transform who I want to become as a parent, as a person, you know, my faith, and also as a football player. When I was in Buffalo, I can honestly say I didn't really appreciate the opportunity. I can say you growing up as a kid, when I was playing football in youth league or in middle school and high school, I always knew I had a chance to play in the NFL. There was never a doubt in my mind that I wouldn't play on the NFL level. I got blessed at the age of, I want to say 8, to train with Coach Tom Shaw, who had relocated from New Orleans to Orlando from Hurricane Katrina. And I met him at a young age, and I was training with him since I was in, I want to say 6th grade. So, I mean, it's always been almost destined for me to play in the National Football League. It was all about how I was going to be able to take it and control it and hone in when I wanted to what I wanted to accomplish and how I wanted to get it done. I got drafted in the 5th round. I wasn't happy with it, but I was happy that my name got called. I mean, that's a blessing within itself. You know, all these guys work hard to go get to college. They work hard to get themselves in the draft position, and then a lot of guys don't get their name called.
Yeah.
Mine got called, and my brothers got called 2 years prior, and it's just something that, you know, not many families have siblings, let alone 2 brothers raised in the same household, you know, in the National Football League. But I can say my first year in Buffalo was amazing. That city's amazing. Those fans are insane. I mean, I love it. The atmosphere is amazing. There's nothing like playing in the Ralph. And then when that stadium gets going, it is amazing. It's something that you have to be there to experience.
Yep. I just want to add something here for you, buddy. You brought up that we've been playing in Buffalo, and I just want to let the audience know this, that, you know, you set a record. You tied a record held by former New England Patriots running back Robert Edwards by basically scoring a touchdown in the first 6 consecutive games of your career. Only that's an NFL record. You're already in the record books.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's something I always will be proud of. I mean, I always watch the draft, and I watch every year how these top backs go and getting drafted. And Leonard Fournette was right there. And that's an animal. I mean, I watched him play when I was in school, and I watched him play after I got drafted. He is an animal. And him getting that close is like, you know what? And he's a premier back, starting back in this league. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I sit back and think about it, I know I can, when I come back, when I have that second chance, I know I can be that guy. I can be a premier back in this league. Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Alvin Kamara, these guys are premier backs in this league. Le'Veon Bell, who's premier back in this league. Mm-hmm. You know, these guys didn't get close to the record, or didn't tie the record,
right,
or didn't break the record. So me being able to accomplish something like that is pretty amazing. And knowing that, I keep that in the back of my mind when I hit the field twice a day, when I hit the gym twice a day. I keep that in the back of my mind that I can be a premier guy. I do have a different appreciation for it now. I appreciate it way more than I did when I first got in the NFL. And I think sometimes it takes that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it definitely takes sitting back and seeing what was in front of you. And I always say, what I know now, if I knew it back then, things would be a lot different.
One of the things, Karlos, 104.3 ESPN Panama City, we're joined with Karlos Williams, NFL free agent and former national championship with FSU. I was just going to say, one of the things that my father, I'm touched by your story and about how you turned around. One of the things my father used to always say to me was that good judgment was the result of experience. And experience is the result of bad judgment. It's that you learn from the mistakes that you've made and you turn those around into making yourself, and that's what builds character in any human being. So we applaud you very much for that. I think you're a wonderful young man. You're obviously very talented. I really want you to go to the Redskins, man. Come on, maybe. Adrian Peterson, I love Adrian Peterson, but he's on the tail end. We need you to come in there behind AD and come in there and get it.
We need him back at the Vikes.
I really do appreciate it. But to finish her question about the transition from being a five-star safety to running back, it was difficult. My brother went to Florida State 2 years before me, and it was like, I kind of got the road paved for me. It was easy. I was 6'2", 220 when I graduated high school. I ran a 4.4. I ran 10.4 in the 100, and I just had to make tackles and make plays, and my head coach put me in position to do that. But, Coach Fisher asked me after my freshman year, will you go play running back? And I was like, I don't want to do that, Coach. And he said, okay. And I played a lot my sophomore year. I had almost a pick six to win Jimbo's first ACC championship. And I set myself up to be a starter for Coach Pruitt when he came in the following year. And James Wilder got hurt playing against Pitt. Yeah. And me and James are close friends. We're best. We still talk today. He's the best back, if one of the best backs, if not the best back in Canadian football right now. We talk once a week, and he hurt his shoulder against Pitt, and I've never played running back on a college level. I didn't know how to read defenses coming from the offensive side. I've always played defense, and having to watch and study film from the opposite side was going to be a challenge, but he helped me out that week, and my first carry against Nevada was 65 yards to the house.
Wow.
And as I celebrated across the back of the end zone and ran to the sideline, he was the first person to meet me. He said, hey, bro, you're not going back. I laughed and chuckled.
That felt good.
I went into the locker room, and my jersey color was different. My helmet was different. My gloves were different. I'm wearing different style of cleats. My shoulder pads changed. I'm like, wow, this is a big change. I'm not sure what's really going on. And then we broke to go to meetings. I'm in an offensive meeting. Yeah. I'm in another install meeting for offense. So, it was a hard transition. I'm really thankful because Coach Fisher had success at LSU with position change before he got to Florida State, and I trusted him. I knew I had to be successful. I knew I had to trust him.
Right.
I had to trust his judgment. I had to trust that he knew what he was doing, and in the long run, it benefited me. I believe I became a good back for ACC. I became a decent back and all around throughout the country. I put myself in a position where I got myself drafted. And, playing in the defense in that system that we had changed to, I think it fit me better being there.
Hey, Karlos, we're up against a break here. We're really enjoying this conversation with you. You got a few more minutes, maybe we hang on after the break. We got a little short break. Will you come back and do another segment with us?
All the time you guys need.
Oh, you're the greatest. 104.3 ESPN Panama City. We'll be back with Karlos Williams after the break.
It's Atlanta Braves baseball on your new home for the Braves. 104.3 ESPN Panama City.
The race for the East is off to a quick start as the Braves go to battle to defend their division crown.
Pitch on the way. In the air, down the left field line. This will win the ball game, and the Braves have done it.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball from PNC Park in Pittsburgh as the Braves take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Remember your very first vehicle? It was red and had 4 wheels, and you were happy. But you've changed since that little red wagon. When I come back, I'll reveal the latest automotive wish list.
O'Reilly. When your battery goes dead, everything comes to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts will help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Remember, as teenagers, you were happy your cars had radios. But now, according to Exxon's driver-friendly poll, your tastes have all grown up. Topping your wish list is a built-in driver's seat back massage for de-stressing commutes. And some of you want to skip the drive-thru and ordered an in-car microwave. And finally, why wait till you get home to surf the net when a dashboard internet connection would be so handy? Wow! All that's missing in your automotive home away from home is the kitchen sink. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
Panama City's #1 sports talk station gives you more live programming. 104.3 ESPN Panama City. Now back to the coach's daughter.
Welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Panama City and the Coach's Daughter Show with Opey Russ. And we are honored to have special guest Karlos Williams on the line, who played at FSU, also for the Buffalo Bills, and recently reinstated as an NFL agent. And Karlos, you know, we have Kyle with us here in the studio, and we're so grateful that you guys know each other that to get you on the show. But I believe Kyle has a few things he wants to ask you about, too.
Shoot. Go ahead and shoot.
Hey, Karlos, Kyle here. We'll get back into your NFL stuff here in just a moment, but I would like to know your thoughts on the current state of Florida State football, man. You know, Willie Taggart, what are you thinking?
I think it's moving in the right direction. I mean, I've been up there. I've been around the players. I think it's moving. People have to be patient. I mean, it's different. Like when we went from Bobby to Jimbo, it was different. The systems was different. We started running man coverage from 15 yards off the ball with safeties. I mean, we changed our style of football. It proved to be successful. I think you have to allow a coach to get his guys in. I mean, I don't mean we, the guys that he don't want out, but it takes people to buy in to order for things to work and to work properly. I think those guys have bought in. I think they have one of the best. I got goosebumps right now. They have one of the best leaders in the country, if not one of the best at Florida State I've ever seen, and that's in James Blackman. I mean, I've never seen a guy take so much pride in wearing garden and gold. I played with E.J. Manuel. I played with Jameis Winston. I mean, I played with some of the best guys to come across and playing quarterback in garden and gold. Sean McGuire was a great leader, and not many people knew that. He was behind the scenes and never had a chance to really show and shine bright. But Blackman shows that it's not flamboyantness, it's excitement to be in a position where I'm at Florida State. It's a pride, you know, and you haven't seen it in a long time. A lot of those guys are now wearing those colors as pride. You know, people are worried about he's wearing the alternate uniforms or this and that. No, he's getting the guys to buy in. And I tell you right now, you can ask Deion Sanders, if not one of the greatest nose, not the greatest nose to play at Florida State. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And the generation now, they like to look good. They like to feel good, and that makes them play good. Guys like to play with a sense of swag, and if they have that sense of swag by wearing an arm sleeve or wearing a different uniform, a different helmet, it doesn't matter. As long as they're feeling good that day, they will perform the way you need them to perform. And I think it just give him he's going to need time. I mean, the season didn't go the way he wanted to, but I think in the end, I think the fans, I think the alumni, former players, recruits are going to see some of the best they've seen Florida State in a long time.
Yeah, and you know, Karlos, I went to Mississippi State. I moved here 12 years ago, and I have a lot of FSU friends, and I agree with you. I mean, we didn't have the experiences like FSU has had with all the national championships and being at the forefront, and I think, you know, the level of expectation is so high, but not only has Taggart got to get his own kids and their players, but, you know, his system, his assistants. I mean, it had been a certain way for so long. It's just not going to happen overnight, you know. So I hope that FSU fans will be supportive and give him an opportunity, and I really hope they have a good year this year.
That's very true. That's very true. It seems like Jimbo was there for 30, 40, 50 years, but he wasn't. I mean, you think about it, he wasn't there for long at all, but the impact he made because people decided to buy in to what he was trying to do. When you have support, whether you're a football coach or whether you work behind a computer and you sell insurance, if you have the right incentive and the right motivation behind you, you will get the job done the way people needed to get done. If you're a clerk at a 7-Eleven, and somebody's behind you with the right motivation, you'll sell more products that they need off the shelves. I mean, that's how it works. Motivation is what gets people and get the job done. Having support, having somebody to back you. You know, when you fall, we lose, and whatever it may be, having somebody to pick you up and say, hey, no matter what, I'm behind you, or no matter what, you have my support, or no matter what, we're going to be here. That helps you be able to get the job done, and your players around you will see that, and they will start having your back, and they will start supporting you the same way. And then that proves to a very strong foundation, and the key word is family. It builds a family. It builds character, and that helps you come out on top. That brings home victories.
That 104.3 ESPN Panama City. We are joined by Karlos Williams, NFL free agent right now, former running back for a national champion for the Florida Seminoles. Florida State Seminoles, excuse me. I didn't want to just sound Florida. I almost made a Florida Gator slip there. My bad, buddy. But you just hit the nail on the head when you said family, because you know something about family, don't you, Karlos? How many? Am I right here? You have 7 kids?
Yes, I do. I have 7. I have 7 little ones, man. It sounds like a circus, but it's easier than what you think it is. I mean, my kids are my pride and joy. My kids they're my life. I have 5 boys and 2 girls.
That's amazing. Great. Yeah, it says they're all K's, right? You got a little K thing, except for maybe Brady,
KJ,
right? You got
Kylie, Kobe, Kason, Corey, and Coco. And my stepson name is Brady.
Brady. That's fantastic. That's really that's awesome, man.
Hey, being a parent, that's a full-time job in itself right there.
I got one.
It is, but when they're all together, they make your job easier.
Yeah.
My 3 oldest, Brady, KJ, and Kylie, they take care of their baby siblings, and it makes it way smoother. I mean, they're little adults almost. It's crazy how fast kids grow up these days.
Yeah.
I mean, my stepson comes home from school, Dad, we can't believe what we did today. I mean, what do you mean? And I remember one night we're laying in the bed, and my fiance was doing her homework, and he looked at her math homework. And he was like, she's like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. It's just nothing. She was like, I'm like, she's like, Brady, what's wrong with you? She's like, why would they change math? He's in kindergarten. He was like, why would they change math?
I love
I'm thinking to myself, like, what do you mean? Okay, yeah, I get it now. Because I was in kindergarten, I can imagine looking at college algebra or some kind of college math, like, why would they change math? I'm just learning how to put 1 and 1 together.
I know. That's so true.
I'm really counting hard using my fingers. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, Bill Cosby show, kids say the darndest things. It is true. I mean, kids say some pretty wild stuff. And it's pretty entertaining. They keep me on my toes. They keep me going. They're the reason. I mean, they're a big reason why I made the choices I've made to give myself opportunities to play football again. You know, my mom worked extremely hard to provide for me and my 3 older siblings. She did it a lot by herself. And so she never quit. She made changes for herself and her lifestyle to make sure we had what we needed. And, being young and having kids, people always think you're just immature or you're not responsible. But, I mean, I'm not perfect by any means, but I do the best I can. My kids love their dad. They love me to pieces. I mean, my kids chant my name from time to time. It's a pretty funny joke, but I mean, I love them to pieces. They're my heart. Without them, I wouldn't be as motivated as I am to get back to the game I love, to be able to provide for them the way they needed me to provide for them.
Well, that's a great point. 104.3 ESPN Panama City. We're joined by Karlos Williams, NFL free agent and former FSU Seminole national champion. Going off of what you just finished there, my next question to you is, how's it going now as a free agent? What are you doing right now? Are you interviewing with various teams? How does that process go? Is that something where maybe your agent sets up the interviews? Or are you doing tryouts? How does that work?
I've been through a transition. I can say I've been clean for 2 years, sober for 2 years. I've been testing clean for the NFL for 2 years. It's been amazing. I mean, my mind is fresh, my body's fresh. I feel good. So that was the step. That was the first step. I let my agent take care of it. If you got news about football, I'll let you contact me. My job is to be in the best shape possible when it's time to go to mini camp, training camp, the spring workouts and coming up in next spring. My job is to be prepared when that time comes. And I'll let him do his job. There's no reason me to beat down your phone or hound over top of you. My job is to make sure I am in the best shape of my life and ready to go play football when it's time to go play football.
I'm telling you what, I'm calling Daniel Snyder tomorrow.
Please give him a phone call.
I'm going to give him a call, and of course, I don't know him. He's probably going to think I'm some weirdo, but I'm just going to call him and tell him that he does need to. He needs to. You need to. Man, come on. This guy's got to come down. I mean, he's my new favorite player, man. He's got to play for my Redskins. It's got to happen.
I appreciate it.
Well, Karlos, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but like if you literally, had the option to decide where you wanted to go, what team would you play for?
Wow. You really just did that. That's
I did.
In all honesty, there's 3 teams, and it's gonna be wild. 3 teams. One team.
Sorry.
I would love to experience playing for the Patriots. Sounds wild. It is wild. I really just shocked myself saying that, but when you have I play with some great quarterbacks. I've got a chance to play with Tyrod Taylor. I've had a chance to play with Big Ben, who is a winner, and Big Ben is a winner. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He knows how to win. He knows what it takes to win. Tom Brady is a different kind of winner. I mean, what guy goes home to his house where he lives in off season with his own shoulder pads and helmet? You see him all on social media hitting shake moves on the kids in the backyard. I mean, he's always working.
Yeah.
He's always working. Your wife is like a super mega supermodel, and she retired to spend more time with you, and you keep pushing because you love the game that much. That's a drive to win and be the best. I want to be around somebody. I want to be around a winner like that.
Wow, that's a good point.
My second choice would probably be going back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Pittsburgh. My brother's there. I enjoyed being around that locker room. I mean, that's one of the funnest locker rooms I've ever been in, and it's about business. He makes you accountable, and that's something that you have to really appreciate when you're dealing with other grown men, when a grown man tells another grown man what to do. A lot of people, I mean, even though it's a professional business, not a lot of people are able to deal with that. And being young and having that happen, and you're starting to feel yourself as an adult, you're living by yourself, you're buying your own cars and stuff like that, it's very hard to kind of, sit down and to take the back seat and listen to another grown man. My last option would be Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's right in the backyard. I grew up a Tampa Bay fan.
Yeah.
I love Chucky when he was over here, when he took over for Coach Dungy. And that in 2002 Super Bowl championship was one. I mean, I remember playing in the backyard with my brothers and recreating the catches by Keenan McCardell and just remembering those plays. Joe Vicious down the sideline, Michael Pittman, Mike Allstott, Brad Johnson. I just remember that entire defense was a Florida State defense besides Sapp. We'll take them even to Miami. But just watching them win and being a big Tampa Bay fan, and then just being close to home. All my kids live in Florida. My family's here. My siblings live over in Tampa. My 2 older siblings live in Tampa. My mom's right in the backyard. There's nothing that would be more fulfilling and satisfying being right close to family.
Yeah, I can understand that. Karlos, we just want to thank you so much again for coming on with us today. And we want to hear about what happens and what the next steps. And we'd love to have you back on another time. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Karlos. We really appreciate you, man.
It's been amazing. Like I said, it's only the second time I've been interviewed. But getting my story out and being able to, let people know what's going on, and I'm still pushing. There's no quitting me. My mama didn't raise me that way. There's no quitting me, and it's the reason why I'm keeping it going. You guys asked about it. My kids are my heart, and they're the ones that keep me going. And my daughter is probably my biggest fan. My daughter Kylie loved watching me playing Buffalo, and I can't wait to get back in the jersey so she can go screaming for daddy again. But I really do appreciate the opportunity. You guys have been amazing, and thank you for having me.
Well, we are certainly huge fans of yours, Karlos. Thank you for being with us, and we appreciate your time. 104.3 ESPN, Panama City. Back in a flash.